From the Nashville Metro Sports Soccer Complex here in Nashville, Tennessee, this is the 2018 USAFL Central Regional Championship. This is Game 2 of the women's division as the Denver Lady Bulldogs and the Blue Jumpers take on the Midwest All-Stars. We are underway. I'm Brian Barish, and we are underway. The All-Stars lost earlier today, and the Bulldogs work it down quickly as Streff, they work it around to Roner, and Denver is now pinned in their own defensive territory as that one was going to end up being a throw as umpire Tom Ellis gives a throw. So we'll have a free kick and we'll go to Carson Moore. Actually, it's a throw against the All-Stars. So the kick will go to Zoe Dew. So here is Dew, or Doe, I believe is how that's pronounced. That one goes into the middle. Thexton is in there against Roner, but a good job of the defense by the Chicago player and Tess Maisie to try and get that away. And a handball as Hayden, T. Streff Hayden, and she gets the football, tries to give it to Thexton, but Thexton couldn't handle onto it, and now she's taken for a ride there by Bronwyn Smith, number 15, and number 18 in there for the All-Stars, Tess Maisie. As we mentioned in this last game, the All-Stars made up of players from Nashville, Chicago, Cincinnati. As that one goes in, goes into one of the All-Stars defenders, goes out to the far side, and then digging after it there is Ron Concio, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a bounce rate throw-in. As Bailey Hurtado in there, number 8, one of the up-and-coming players. This in her second full season. She did a very good job as a rookie last year, came in on the ruck in platoon situations. Hallie Kastanek is in there, and they get the ball to Allison Bremner, who bootlegs around, kicks that one on, but it only goes as far as Emily Rice, who turns that over to Kastanek, who goes ahead to Hayden. Hayden kicks that one on the way. They're looking for Masher Mays, juggled and marked by Caitlin Masher Mays in front of Roughhead. So she did well to get away from Sarah Roughhead, and then she sends that one towards the stick, and that one goes off to the side. Caitlin Masher Mays, tallest player in this tournament at 6'3". She has a lot of strength, and she is a nationally ranked sumo wrestler over the last couple of seasons. That's the first score of the game. Denver 1, All-Stars nothing. Out to the left side, it drops in front of Moore, who's done very well. He did very well in that first game. Picked up by Jess Gray. Handballs it over to Hayden. Hayden is slung off the ball by... Are they going to call it? Yes, they are. They're going to call this one back as Maisie is going to get credit for the tackle. Tess Maisie, a number of Australians coming up through Chicago as they relaunch their women's program. And the All-Stars, who are heading towards the camera. They lost earlier today 24-12 to the Texas Heat, so they're trying to win to keep their grand final or their championship hopes alive as Maisie puts that one up, and it's knocked down by Kastanek. Gray dropped the football. In fact, now it is going to be called. And the call from the trailing umpire from Tom Ellis is a tackle. So here is Moore, Carson Moore, leader of the Nashville Kangaroos, one of 6 ladies from Nashville playing in this game. Sends that one towards the sticks. Bruce couldn't get to it. Knocked down by Newell. And then Bruce able to get it away, but only as far as Bronwyn Smith. It's picked off by Kastanek. And here comes Hayden the other way for Denver. Looking for Gray. Out of the reach. Picked up by Masher Mays. Able to find Gray. Gray kicks for goal. And it is kicked home by Sarah Edwards-Roner. Great job from back to front, and that's how you see how this Denver Bulldogs team can do it. As Kastanek took the football, they worked it down very quickly, who found Masher Mays, who found Gray coming across, and Roner was there for the coup de grace. First goal of the game, it goes to the Denver Lady Bulldogs. They go on to 1-1-7. All-Stars yet to score. Jess Gray actually living in Chattanooga for this year and expects to return to the Denver area. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Denver 0-1 on the year. They lost to San Francisco last weekend in Denver. San Francisco had a couple of borrowed players in that. Down into the middle as Hurtado couldn't hang on to the football, but Bremner was able to get to it. Throws that one on to the right, and that was a contact to the head. It's a free kick to the All-Stars. So they are winning some free kicks, which against a team like Denver is very handy. You just need to execute. So here is Emily Rice from the Des Moines Roosters. Rice looks around. She's got more to her left. Instead, she goes straight down the guts. Castana couldn't get to it. Ball goes to ground. The ball squirts out. It's kicked around to Hayden, and Hayden's able to release. As she's able to get around the one defender, sends that one up looking for, I believe, Roner again. And now they're down playing soccer. Is trying to get to it was Webster. They're telling her to pick it up. And Gray is in there. Webster has her arms around her. And then Hurtado sends that back inside 50 for Denver. Chasing after it is Masher Mace. Masher Mace picks it up, and then she falls over. She almost had to it. Thexton is able to clean it up. She dropped the footy. And play on, they say, as that one is steered towards the sticks. Over to get it is Doe. And then they're able to release up the far side, one-on-one through the hands of Rice. Hurtado is there as well. Hurtado pushing up against Rice, and that's going to end up being pushed in the back, and a free kick. It will go the way of Emily Rice. 7-0, Denver the lead. Denver wins that game. It'll send up a de facto grand final. That one is sent long, over to get it. And long handball out, looking for Gray. Gray kicks that one towards the boundary, stays in play, picked up there by Maisie. Kept in, ball goes to ground again. Ronconcio stayed with it, lost it. Ronconcio again, over to get it. There is Desch, who had a lot of the football in that last game, but it's picked up, and here is Edwards Roner. Roner will kick it. She finds Masher Mace. Masher Mace steps back and kicks a goal. Caitlin Masher Mace. And as she extends the lead for the Bulldogs, that takes them on to 2-1-13. All-Stars yet to score. Caitlin Masher Mace, who's played in an international cup with the USA Liberty back in 2014, as we mentioned. A number, I mentioned sumo, but she has a ton of sports backgrounds, including lacrosse. She was also a football player, gridiron football player as well, originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ball goes in the air, and we are underway again as they tap that out for Hurtado, who's taking on more of a ruck roll here. Handballs it out looking for Gray. Gray can't get to it. Moore was on her in a flash, and Hurtado, I'll tell you what, they are on them quickly, and it was improper disposal. It's a free kick. So the All-Stars don't have any points yet, but they are playing very well defensively and making the Lady Bulldogs earn just about every opportunity. This one is sent deep. There are two blue jumpers there. Nobody able to claim it. Over to get it is Mullen, who plays for Minnesota. And now back the other way they come for Denver, looking for Roner. Roner gets it on a high hop. She shakes away, throws that one on to the right. It was a high drop, and that's going to spear through for another behind. 2-2-14 Denver. No score for the All-Stars. Can they win by the Lady Bulldogs in this game will set up a de facto grand final with the Texas Heat, who defeated the All-Stars 24-12 a little bit later. Of course, the interesting thing is that the Bulldogs will want a fairly decent-sized victory here, because that will put a draw into their equation. When the ball goes out of bounds, it'll be a boundary throw-in. So here it comes, back in the play. Thexton able to knock it down for Denver. Roner is over there as well. It's Hurtado, finds Thexton. Thexton sends it goalward. That's going to drop, and it's going to steer through. Was it touched? No, it wasn't. And give that goal to Anna Thexton in her 11th season with the Denver Lady Bulldogs, an original member of the USA Freedom. 3-2-20 for Denver. No score for the All-Stars. Thexton, as we said, 11th season, began in 2008 and has stepped up as captain of this Denver Lady Bulldogs side as Hayden goes into the ruck now with Pastanek dropping back defensively. Nice mark again by Maisie. Up the far side they come, looking for Rice. It's over her head, but Pastanek is there. Into the middle comes the captain of the USA Freedom. Puts the ball to the turf. Now handballs it up high, looking for Hayden, and Hayden is driven down. No call, they'll play on. Maisie dropped the football, however. Setting on her is Doe rather. And then that one is sent fire, and the free kick by Maisie. Almost taken by Rice. Pastanek wasn't able to get to it either. Picked up and handballed in, looking for Roncaccio. Couldn't get to it, however. They kick it around, playing soccer. In there again is Alexis Koo, another one of the rookies. They handball it back. They give it to Natalie Smith, one of the Nashville players, and she is in there and tackled, and that one is in there, and it'll be a ball up. A lot of action in this game, which is good to see. They're sticking with the Lady Bulldogs, are this All-Stars team. But it's picked up by Roner. Roner sends it down looking for Masher Mays. Instead, it finds Bremner, who knocks it down. Bremner stays with the football. And then it's picked up by Thexton. Thexton's kick is off to the left or behind. They're like sharks they are at the moment, are the Denver Lady Bulldogs. 3-3-21 to no score. Brian Barish here with you at the Nashville Metro Soccer Complex. Glad you're enjoying this action here in the USAFL Central Regional Championships. This is the second of the third leg. We'll be in Sacramento, California, July 28th. And we'll have a bunch of the teams from up and down the west coast of the United States. Should be a good women's competition as well. San Francisco Iron Maidens, the two-time defending national champions, as the All-Stars try and get it out of there. Rice with not a great kick, but it comes right to Hayden. Hayden gets through a couple of players and sprays that to the left for another behind. 3-4-22 for the Bulldogs. As we are past the midway point of this first half. Should mention, we've mentioned Sarah Roner, who's played in the International Cup as well. Her sister Amanda Newell is number 30, playing defensively for the Lady Bulldogs. There is Bremner, number 9, dropped the footy. Bronwyn Smith is over there trying to pick it up, but Bremner wins that. Long handball in looking for Thexton, but it was out of her reach. It comes to Hurtado, but Thexton was there in the second fight. Throws that one goalward on the right side. It bounces over right to Masher Mace. Oh, but it was smothered. A great job by Roncaccio. Those little 1%ers, and I'll tell you what, irrespective of whether or not the All-Stars get a win here today, that's a lot that they could take forward personally into growing themselves as the football club. Ball on the ground, picked up by Roner. Roner again for goal. That tails off to the left, and it's going out of bounds on the full. Roner doing a lot on that forward line. She was mostly a defender for the most part, but she played very well in the Western Regional. She scored a very memorable goal in the game against, I believe it was against either Seattle or Golden Gate in that Western Regional matchup. Denver, both the men and the women, switching to the Central Region this year. And especially the women, we have to talk about the fact that really trying to help bolster this Central Regional. It's the first time we've had a women's competition since 2015, when Columbus and New York combined to defeat Minnesota. Meanwhile, Bremner took the mark. Bremner's kick is on the way. It's in the middle. It's dropped. Coming over to get it is Gray, but there is Moore. Moore looking for a handball. Thought we heard a whistle, but not, and the ball goes to ground.
You talked to Brian about
And it'll be a free kick.
Ooh.
So it's kicked out. And it comes right to Bremner. Bremner looking for Kastanek. Kastanek, wrong handball across. Hayden kicks for goal. Oh, and almost taken down. It drops right in front. And it's off to the side as, once again, Maisie was there. But let's see who that was who kicked the behind. I believe it would have been probably going to be, I don't think it was Bruce. It may have been Susan Bruce, but in any event, 3-5-23 for the Denver Lady Bulldogs here in the first half. Are you okay? They're calling halftime. I could have sworn that was from the other field, but in any event, they have called halftime here. The score: it's the Denver Lady Bulldogs, 3 goals, 5 behind, 23 points. The Midwest All-Stars no score. We'll be right back with the start of the second half. You're watching it, the USAFL Central Regional Championships here on USAFL.com.